Here's how we ran the framing for the picture frame. Imagine this is the outside that the deck boards meet. We have to have these supported by something, so that's the point of this board. And then obviously we need strength to hold it, so 16 on center. We're going to come back and add strips between the boards because this is not UV resistant, so wherever it's going to be exposed to UV, we'll add the butyl tape. We're going to start our picture frame. These are exactly 45. We already have our overhang that we want, which is have it clamped down exactly where I need it. And what we're going to do, we're going to screw this down. I can't do the edge because it's too far away, so I'll top screw the front side, and then I'll come in and do our side lock. And then I'm going to run the boards along, and I'll come back with a track saw and I'll cut the boards there and there. Here's how we're going to measure for this obstruction and make sure everything's square. I lined it up on top of the board that's here. First, this board and this board are the exact same length within a 64th of an inch. I measure 56.5, also 56.5, and then now we're going to square it to make sure it's placed where it needs to be. 113 7/16. Okay, we are absolutely square. Now, I can mark this pipe. This pipe is going to be exactly right here. And I know that I'm going to have this 5/16. So, since it's 5/16 from here to here, and we have a 3/16 gap, the board to the pipe is 5/16. So since 5/16 from here to here, and we have a 3/16 gap, we only need to go 1/8. So we know that the edge of the pipe is going to be right there. Then we take the pipe 2 3/8. We go up, we're on an inch, so 3/8, we go to 1, so that's the top. Then we find the center from here to here, and then here, here, and we cut our hole. Now I'm going to cut a bigger hole, and this will also help. I also squared to the inside to make sure the inside was the same, because when I cut this board, I got to cut the back of it off, and I won't have a tip to measure off of. I have to measure here for square, and this is also going to help me. Once we get the pipe in, it'll be where it needs to be, and I'll square it again so I can cut my picture frame. I will draw a line from this corner to this corner, and so I'll put my saw. We will cut a 3-inch hole. Here we have it. Now I'll do my spacing, and then I'll check this edge for square. So I'll measure across and see exactly, because it should be the exact same as the other corner. Alright, let's check square. 108 7/8. 108 7/8 exact. Now I'm gonna screw the board down, but I'm only gonna drive to there because I need to take this board back up to do the door. Alright, we got it pinned down. We're still square at the corners. Now we time to cut this picture frame in. The instructions say not to leave a gap, so we're not going to leave a gap. And they wanted us to do a picture frame and then build into boards, but I wanted the picture frame to be cut down. And if you measure, I could have measured, but if you measure in between, and you're not exact because each board varies a 16th, a 32nd, so unless you measure for every single board and don't use the tool, you can get the gapping just right. Otherwise, when you get to the end, you'll be cutting this board or whatever end board if you didn't measure right, or if you just use the tool. But I wanted that picture frame board to be cut more narrow, so that's why I did it like this. Either way, I would do it like this because I can get the infill boards more even. So this saw does have features to help the cut not chip. So like that strip there, and I believe this piece here. But if you want to be extra cautious, if you're ever cutting and you don't want this, wherever you're cutting, tape it. So I'm going to tape this. If you're cutting wood, whatever, tape your cut and it'll prevent the chipping. I would do 2 layers of painter's tape. It's thicker than regular masking tape. I'm going to run a test cut. Always run a test cut. I don't use this all the time, so I'll make sure the blade is lined up with the edge. So test cut, and I don't cut all the way through because I'll cut in to my joist tape. I cut about 99%, and with the saw you can get 99%. We're gonna pull our saw to the edge so we can set our depth, and then we can fine tune it. And we are like 99%. On our test cut, we're going to leave the line just visible, and it should cut it completely away. Yep, exactly where we wanted it. See, 99%. Now just come and trim that away with a razor. See, didn't even cut the joist tape. But I'm gonna use my speed square. So I could line it up on my corner. I'm gonna cut it with a 30-second gap or less. Once I got it where I want, I'm gonna mark it because that pipe is in my way and I won't be able to cut all the way over there, and I'll have to finish it off with an oscillating tool. So Now I'm going to take my measurement. I'm going to take the inside. I can't really do an outside because it's cut. And these should be perfectly 45 since they were 45 plus the deck was perfectly squared. I'm going to cut it a little bit big just in case.